What's good, my lovely peoples? It's your main man Solace here, the humble wise one. Today I want to do this video discussing how the Emerald Tablets of Thoth is basically writings explaining how this is hell and how you must break free from the darkness of it, or you'll get stuck in the circle of eternity of it. So it's a deep thing you'll have to grasp. Now, before I explain this, I want to break down what the Emerald Tablets of Thoth actually is. Now, Thoth is spelled Thoth. If you want to look it up and read, you should yourself, read it yourself. But I want to break down what these Emerald Tablets were and give you a little history on it. Therefore, you can follow me in the story. Now, the Emerald Tablets are basically these stone, indestructible tablets that pretty much break the laws of the universe because they don't, everything goes through oxidation. So it just it never destroys. So they don't understand how the stone was made, basically, because it was altered to be that way. Now you have these stone tablets, and they can't really carbon date it, so they don't know how old the tablets are. But it's speaking of a time 50,000 years ago. And the interesting thing about these tablets is it's about a man named Thoth that basically comes from the city of Undal, and he's basically the smartest person in the world. But what's interesting about the tablets is this is the only writings we have where it's written in the first person, meaning it was written by the guy Thoth, because it's written like I and it's written in the first person. So it's a deep thing. So now you have these Emerald Tablets, and they speaking of basically history from 50,000 years ago, and how Thoth and his peoples from his country or city, their city sank, and then they went to Egypt, basically known as Kem, and he basically taught them knowledge and all of this and raised them up. And then it goes into the halls of Amenti and all these different things. Now, when people read this, they don't truly understand it. But the writings tell you must read this 100 times before you can truly gain true understanding of it. Reading it once, you'll just notice things here and there, but you won't truly capture the essence and point of the writings. So in a nutshell, this is basically what the Emerald Tablets of Thoth is. Now, what I want to do is break down how what these writings is basically explaining is that we're in hell. But the word that Thoth uses is Amenti. So this existence that we live in, Thoth calls it Amenti. And you have the great divine unseen that control and keep this existence. Now, the halls of Amenti, you have many different halls in it, and you have the places where the dead spirits go to be recycled back over, basically ascend up in the stars, but some will come back here. But you have many different places within the halls of Amenti. And basically the halls of Amenti is the forces that control this place, keep a man bound to this place, the forces that keep the spirit bound to the body. So this is what Thoth is breaking down in the Emerald Tablets, how you have different forces that dwell within the halls of Amenti. Now, he says the halls of Amenti are the entrance to it is covered by the Great Pyramid. So he says he built the Great Pyramid, or he's the architect for the Great Pyramid, and it was built to cover the entrance that will lead into the halls of Amenti. But he says it doesn't matter if it's covered because most men won't go. This is how scary of a place it is. Now, it's a deep thing because he basically explains how you have the seven masters of this place, and they control it and keep it. And he explains their duties, like how the first one keeps everything bound, keeps the planet bound to its space, keeps people bound to the planet, keeps the spirit bound in the body. So it's basically explaining it like this place is a prison. And the halls of Amenti is like the operating room where those who keep this place how it is, they keep it going the way that we live, you know. So he explains how death is basically what makes the circle of this place, meaning you live, then you die, then you live, then you die. So death is what makes you stuck here. It is what makes the life revolve here, and it keeps you here as opposed to you just living within the life. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. Now, he basically says the way out of hell is through having the keys of Amenti. So you have to grasp. Keys basically mean knowledge. So you can reference the Ankh. Keys of Amenti. Amenti is the existence of the life we live in. So he who holds the keys of Amenti is not subject to the death and the life and the being trapped in any aspect of the life, meaning the planet is bound to its space and you're bound to the planet and your spirit is bound to your body. But if you have the keys to the Amenti, you are not bound. So keys basically mean knowledge. If you have the knowledge of Amenti, which is the existence we live in, and the understandings of it, you can free yourself and be fluid in the life. And pretty much you're not bound by the time and reality that we live in. You can just live in any existence how you choose. It's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. You can live this existence, leave it when you want. Now, when I say leave this existence, I'm not talking different planets and all these different dimensions y'all talk about. He's simply talking about you're bound. Your spirit is bound or trapped in darkness, which is your body. In everything in this existence is basically the flame, because he calls the spirit the flame. So everything is the flame stuck in its darkness. So the planet is in its darkness. So you have to grasp. When you look in the sky and you see all the stars, they're all surrounded in darkness. So he's explaining that to you. As above, so below, it's all the same. It's spirits are flames bound to their darkness. And he's basically trying to explain to you, you're trapped here in this existence because of the way you think. And it's just like I said, leaving hell is not a matter of you need to leave this place because the people make the place. It's a matter of the way you think and how you understand and acknowledging a thing and truly grasping, okay, this is where I am. So Thoth is basically breaking all that down. And it's a very deep thing you have to grasp, because it's a lot of knowledge that lies within those writings. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth I'm talking about. Now, I'm trying to think because he broke down so much deep things in there, but I'm not sure. You have to know a thing to grasp. See, I understand what's written in the halls of Amenti and the Emerald Tablets of Thoth and all this. I understand it because I already hold knowledge in this. What he talking about? Therefore, I can grasp. Most archaeologists or scholars, when they read this, they don't understand it. They explain to you what it says, but as far as them understanding it simply to be like, yeah, this is hell and this is what he's breaking down, no one's explained it in that way. But anyone who's read the text and they hear me now, they know, like, okay, he is kind of right. He is basically saying that we're trapped in this existence and you need to acquire the keys of Amenti to free yourself. So this is what he's breaking down, and he explains to you in detail how to do it. Now, it's a deep thing with the Emerald Tablets because you have basically 13 tablets that were written, and they all hold a certain level of knowledge. Now, the last 3 tablets have not been published or shown. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. They've published 10 of them, but the last 3, they said men are not allowed to see it. Mind you, these are men who found this. But when they read it, they said, oh shit, men cannot read the last 3. We'll let them read 10, but they can't read the last 3. And it's a deep thing you have to grasp. Because in that, you know, something was said on the 3 that was broken down simple. I'll put it to you in this sense. Everything written in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth was broken down simple. They translated it complex on purpose. But I could still grasp. But they translated it that way on purpose, complex. They could have translated Amenti into a word that you recognize like they did the rest of them. But they didn't. So it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. It's a lot of trickery involved. You are not allowed to know that you're in hell. This is not for you to know. You just need to live and do as you told. Simple. It's a deep thing you have to grasp, man. A lot of knowledge I give to y'all ain't even supposed to have. It's against the rules here for spirits to know. Like the sperm is the spirit. If you go to Hinduism, creation story, they believe in the golden egg, in the great cobra. Sperm is the spirit, egg is the body. It's a deep thing. Everything I say is everywhere. Y'all just, I don't understand. But it's a deep thing. It's like a puzzle. I guess people are raised up when they choose to. But it's a deep thing you have to grasp. If you don't grasp anything I'm saying, it doesn't matter. You just hurt yourself. So try to grasp. Because it's a deep thing. This is hell. And y'all have to grasp that. All the gods y'all believe in is Satan. And I know y'all lost, like, no, it's not, Solace. Well, if you a Christian, answer me this. Why is all of God's sons bad? See, he said the sons of God came unto the daughters of men, and they fucked them all over and fucked the life up. So why did God claim them as his sons? This God is Satan. That's why they his sons, and that's why they fucked up, as you read in the Bible. So it's just a matter of you grasping. At the end of the day, I know a lot of people are scared with religion. So it's not a matter of the things that I say hurt you. It scares you. Because you like, no, I have to believe in this. I'm not going to fucking hell because this nigga want to speak blasphemy. You're already in hell. And this, you can just say God is just one of the tricks of keeping you here. It's a deep but simple thing. It's like Thoth said. He explained the all of the life as a flaming flower. So it's just like I told y'all, everything is a tree. See, a lot of things I say is written in the deepest text that we have. A different way, but it's the same thing. But Thoth says that the life, or the all of it, is a flaming flower. The Great Spirit is a flaming flower. And we're all little flames trapped in our darkness, trying to escape through the darkness back to the great flame. So it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp, man. This is hell. It's just like I said, man. I wouldn't tell y'all the wrong things. Life is easy. It is only hard when you don't know. So you got to look at it like this. You work in slaves so you can put groceries in the fridge. And that's hard. But it's only hard because you don't know that you're supposed to have your own land, in control of your own reality, and grow your own food. And even if that's not the way things is done today, and even if it's almost not allowed, none of that matters. What matters is that's what you're supposed to have. So people will say, well, that ain't how it works now, and you still have to pay taxes, and you can't truly own. Well, none of that matters. What matters is that that's how it's supposed to be. And what are you going to do about it? Because nobody gave man power to do that. So when you tell me all the reasons why it wouldn't work for you having your own land and growing and controlling your own reality, what are you going to do about it? Because you telling me, oh, that ain't going to work. It doesn't matter if it's going to work. What matters is it right? Would that sound like the way it's supposed to be? Well, if that's the way it's supposed to be, then what are you going to do? Keep sitting around talking about, no, that's not going to work? The mind of a spirit in hell, trapped in its darkness. It's like Thoth said. In the writings, in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, he said, you have to go without eating to shake your desires of food. You have to go without speaking to conquer silence. So he's basically telling you, whatever you're trying to conquer, you have to not do it. Grasp how deep that is. If you want to conquer your drug addiction, go without it. And then you will lose the desire. You want to conquer sex? Go without it. And you'll lose the desire. And it won't have any control over you anymore, and you're free. So he was explaining you have to conquer all your worldly physical desires before you lay in the sarcophagus that's in the Great Pyramid that he supposedly built. You must rid yourself of all these worldly desires and then lay inside the sarcophagus with the lid on, in darkness with self. So in the Great Pyramid, there is a sarcophagus, and they don't know what the fuck that is. Deep thing. A stone casket looking type of thing. Basically, imagine a deep casket, but stone, granite stone. But they don't really know what it's for. They like, man, this wasn't a casket. It wasn't no bodies in it. But in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, it says that was for those who conquer the physical to lay in there. And that's when you get the keys of Amenti. Now, that's not the only way, but that was the way he was breaking down what the pyramid and the sarcophagus and different things inside the pyramid was for. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. If you go read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, you'll truly grasp what I'm saying. When I say, man, this is hell, we all spirits in hell. When you read in the Bible how God was in darkness and then he said, let there be light. He was in darkness. Why? Separated from everything. Why? So it's a deep thing I'm trying to tell y'all. Listen, everything y'all ever could possibly read, that this is hell, but for some reason y'all just won't accept it. They use whatever words they want. Thoth used Amenti. The word don't matter. The place don't matter. The existence you're in is what matters, and it's all a matter of the mind state. Because Earth looks how it looks because of us. Earth could look like a paradise, a beautiful Garden of Eden, the whole Earth, every part of it. But it doesn't because of the people here. So it's a simple thing. Imagine if everybody had their own land. They own 10 acres or something of land. Well, I'm sure people wouldn't build cities on their land. They'd live there with their families and grow food and try to make their land and the grass on it look more beautiful than everybody else's. And what you think you would eventually see is a beautiful garden. The whole earth would just be a beautiful garden because everybody will be trying to make their garden look the best. See, you work to buy food and things like this. But if you didn't have to work to buy food and you grew it and you had your own land and space to do things you wanted, then you wouldn't be a prisoner of work. So it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. The aspect y'all look at things that should show you where you truly are. Because just think how we live makes no sense. Men work and slave for other men to live, to buy the things they need. Earth provides the things you need. Grasp. What can you possibly name that is not produced by the earth? Nothing. Not even your body. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. Earth provides. You pay. You work. And you only work because you don't know. So it's like I said, life is easy. It's only hard when you don't know. It's your main man, Solace, the wise one.